Welcome back. You're watching the Trading Bell Show. We're speaking to Nzomo Mutuku, the CEO of Retirement Benefits Authority. You know, we just closed on how the COVID impact was, and definitely an advice to people that, you know, the market can be volatile and, you know, there are unexpected things that come around, but we need to be more patient, as you have said. The other key question is that research has it that by 2030, the number of Kenyans aged 60 years and above will rise from 1.6 million currently to about 3.4 million. You know, so in ensuring that this demographic doesn't become a time bomb by itself, I don't know what measures you have in place to ensure that, you know, all these persons as well will have the benefits and the advice needed so that they have, you know, safe retirement.
Absolutely. You know, Kenya has been lucky that our population has been very young, and we have not had what we call a high dependency ratio, where we have many people who are retired, who are being sort of financed by the younger group. In our case, we have had a young population. But that is changing. As we go forward, we are going to have more and more older people. And the dependency ratio is going to increase. So really, the key is to take action now. You know, we don't wait until that time and then start saying, now what do we, how do we handle all these numbers and so on. And the action that we need to take is for those who are working today, who are still young, to be saving for their retirement. So that when they reach retirement, they will have this pot of money that will keep them in retirement. You know, traditionally, people would say that when they retire, they will get their children to come and take care of them, and, you know, those kind of things. Structure. But those have broken down.
They call it, I think, outside there, the black tax.
But those have broken down. Chances are when you retire, your children may not even be in the country. They may have migrated to other countries, or they could be doing other things and so on. Or you may even have to take care of them. We have seen those cases where people are taking care of their children as well when they retire. So really the key is for you to start saving at a young age. When you start saving when you're still young, you don't have to save much. You just save a small amount. It goes into the pension scheme. But because of the power of compounding, you know, it is invested and it earns income, and the income is also invested and it earns income, and that income earns income. When you reach retirement, what you get, what you have saved is not much, but what you have gotten in terms of investment income is huge. And that is what gives you a comfortable life. So with that demographic pressure coming, I think the challenge is to Kenyans that you really need to start saving for your retirement. Yes, government can give government may give basic social security, which, you know, through, for example, the Inua Jamii program, which is there, which gives some money to people over 70. But this is really just money to avoid people being in absolute poverty. It's not money that you can use as income replacement when you're retired.
Absolutely. And, you know, as I said again, the key time bomb here will be that there will be less saved because of course, those demographic changes, and, you know, much more used at the family level and even nationally. And so you have proposed that the Kenya Institute of Universal Pension Coverage for Citizens should deal with this issue. How can this be actualized?
Universal coverage is important in pensions. And, you know, the challenge we have in Kenya is that we have a voluntary system of saving for retirement. So people voluntarily save themselves, because we have products that can allow you to save, whether you're in the informal sector or the formal sector. You can save through the products that we have. Or they save through employer-created schemes. So the employer starts a scheme, and then the people are saving, and the employer is also contributing. But again, even for the employer, it is voluntary. So not all employers have schemes. In fact, many employers don't have pension schemes for their workers at all. So I think the solution is we need to go to a more compulsory system where everybody is required to save for retirement. Perhaps as an intermediate step, we could go for what they have done in some countries, which is what they call an opt-in system. Or opt-out system. So they put everybody into a scheme, and if somebody feels so strongly that they don't want to save, then they can opt out. But at least, you know, most people end up just staying in because they realize the value of saving.
You know, from where I sit and from what you're saying as well, it's very important that people really think through their retirement. And so what is the hindrance from where you see it? Why are Kenyans not running in to safeguard their future?
There are a number of issues. One, generally, as not just Kenyans, as humans, we suffer from what we call myopia. So
Okay.
we tend to think,
Yes.
short term. We don't really want to think about very far ahead. When we are young, we imagine we'll be young forever.
Yeah.
So, when you talk to some people when they're young, they say, I still have plenty of time. I'm going to start saving when I get older.
Yeah.
But like I said, the earlier you start, the less you're going to, you're going to have to save. So there's that short-term thinking. I think also traditionally the pension products we have were not, in harmony with the labor market we have, because our labor market is mainly in the informal sector. But the traditional pension scheme was in the formal sector.
Okay.
So now is when we have come up with these new products which target the informal sector.
All right.
They use the mobile phones. They don't need to have bank accounts. They don't need to have payrolls and those kind of structure.
Yeah.
So it's very easy now for anybody to save for retirement.
Great.
So I think the challenge will be just getting the word out, doing the education, so people can know that these products are there, and then they save. And of course, these products are tax advantaged. When you save for retirement through a pension scheme, it is a tax advantaged way of saving as opposed to any other form of saving that you may do.
Okay. So we come to the tail end of the interview, and I would like you to enlighten the viewers. Somebody is seated there saying, okay, I hear you, they run a business, maybe they're not in that formal employment, and they're thinking, maybe I need to start thinking about this. What would you tell them? Because somebody there is thinking, I've not even started anything, and they're in their 40s, hitting 50s there. What would you tell them?
It's never too late, of course.
Yes.
Even if you're in the 40s or 50s, you can still start saving for retirement. And we have the products. So if you have a lot of channels that we have a toll-free line. You can call us. We can advise you. We have our website, which has a lot of information, and also links to the pension schemes that you can join. So what you do is, if you're in a business and you don't have a scheme for the employer, in big companies, you join what we call an individual personal pension plan. So individual personal pension is open to anybody to join. If you're a mama mboga, you can join it. If you're a border rider, you can join it. If you're a taxi driver, Uber or whatever, you can join an individual pension plan.
Absolutely.
And then you'll be putting something in there. And it doesn't have to be on monthly basis. It can be when and if income comes. So it's very flexible.
Absolutely.
And then, it will be invested, it will continue to grow. And then when you're older, you can come back and get that money out, and it will help you in your retirement.
Okay. I wouldn't want to end this interview without asking you to help us, because some people may be pointed out to, let me call them Ponzi or fake, people who want to just stick up their schemes, and we have had some people cry for about such kind of things. Is there a way they can verify through you that these are valid places where you can invest your money?
Yes. Even on our website, we have the list of all the regulated individual pension plans. There are around 35 that we have registered.
Okay.
We have the list of the fund managers, the custodians. We have registered. So I think, as financial sector regulators, we cannot overemphasize the message. Please use financial products which are regulated.
Yes.
Once you go, putting your money in unregulated products, you don't have any protections.
Absolutely.
But when you use regulated products, you are protected. We have the regulators in place to make sure that your money is safe. Absolutely.
So the final question will be about some of the innovations that you have in the pipeline. I know there are a few of them. Could you enlighten us on that?
Yes, absolutely. We have moved away from sort of the traditional pension product to bring about some really exciting innovations in our pension industry. So one of them is what we call the post-retirement medical fund. What we realized from our research and our interaction with people who have retired is that medical expense is a big challenge for elderly persons in this country. So what we have done is, within the pension scheme, as you save for your pension, you can also put something else on the side, which is specifically to cater for your medical in retirement.
Yes.
So you have this fund called the Post-Retirement Medical Fund. You accumulate money there, and then when you reach retirement age, that money is specifically used to buy medical for you for the rest of your life. Because it's a challenge to get medical cover when you're old. So it's a great product. It's there. It's also enjoying the tax advantages that we have. It's a regulated product, so at least you know you will get your money, you know, those years down the line, and you know your medical in retirement would be catered for.
Okay.
The second exciting innovation, which is also quite recent, is with regard to housing.
Yeah.
We also realized that sometimes people were retiring and they didn't have a house of their own that they own.
Yeah.
You know, it can be a bit awkward when you are
you have nowhere to go
and so on when you retire.
Yes.
So we have a new product which allows you even before retirement age to use part of what you have saved in the pension scheme to buy a house.
Wow.
Actually, you can use up to 40% of what you have saved. And you know, with the affordable housing program that we are seeing government and private sector doing, we now have supply of houses at good price. So members of pension schemes can get some of their money even at a young age, even at 40 or 50. Get that money and buy a house.
Yes.
So by the time they retire, at least housing is not going to be a concern.
Okay.
So I think if we will have catered for housing and medical of our retirees, then our retirees are going to have very good life in retirement.
Wow. Lovely. By the way, quick question. At what age should one start saving for their retirement? That's a quick shot.
Start saving as soon as you start working.
As soon as you start working?
As soon as you start working. Don't delay. Because the earlier you start, the less you'll be saving a very small amount.
Yeah.
If the later you start, then the more you have to save in order to accumulate enough.
Absolutely.
But when you start young, you save very little, but it will be more than enough when you reach retirement.
Wow. Start where you are right away. That's Mr. Nzomo Mutuku, the CEO of RBA, right here on the Trading Bell Show, telling us about what RBA is doing and some of the initiatives they have and the innovations they have in the pipeline. Lovely way to really end the conversation. Right now, we leave you with the markets.